Chief Customer Officer Sarah Meyer, Chief Accessibility Officer Quamel Arroyo, Andrew Alper, one of our board members representing transit riders, Demetrius Critchlow, who runs the subway system for New York City Transit, and Barney Gray, who runs the stations component of our MTA Construction and Development Organization. These are all people who have played an incredible role in this great project. We're here not only to celebrate the 42nd Street shuttle, the Times Square to Grand Central shuttle that has been completely rebuilt during the COVID era, but to welcome back our customers overall to the entire system. New Yorkers are heading back into the office, many of them, for the first time this week, and proof of that is Long Island Railroad and Metro North had their second best days ever yesterday. It's happening. And we're standing ready at the MTA to get our customers where they need to go safely and efficiently. We're rolling out a major new marketing campaign today to remind people that New York is coming back and the MTA is back. We're here to serve you. Sarah Meyer is going to have more to say about this marketing campaign in a moment. But the bottom line is that New Yorkers are going to be coming back to a system that is much improved over the system that existed when COVID hit in early 2020. We've been taking advantage of the low ridership to improve the customer experience, to do projects faster than ever before, projects that will make a real difference to people's commutes. For example, completely rehabbed L-train tunnel, done. F-train tunnel, done, and both of those tunnels survived with no drama in the Hurricane Ida episode last week. We've got elevators, accessibility at 11 new subway stations. Omni, our new fare payment system, has gone live across all of New York City Transit, all during COVID. And we also finished the Moynihan Train Hall and got that into service, that amazing new facility in Midtown West next to Penn Station. And we have tons of digital signage to communicate with our customers and give them real-time information that we never had before COVID. And those are just the visible improvements. We're working on things that make the commute faster and better, like fortifications of all of our tubes, our underwater tubes, signal upgrades at Union Station, and we're looking for ways to speed travel, to increase speed limits where it is safe and workable in the system. We didn't let the pandemic slow us down. Once the state of New York ruled that transit infrastructure construction was essential work, we teamed up with the labor unions to make sure we knew how to conduct construction work safely and quickly. And our construction teams had among the lowest rates of COVID spread of people who are working through the pandemic. We got a lot of work done, but we did it safely for the well-being of our workers, and I'm very proud of that. But today we add the rebuilding of the Times Square to Grand Central shuttle to our list of accomplishments. The shuttle was part of the very first subway line that opened in 1904. It is among the very oldest parts of our system. It connects the two busiest stations in the MTA system and carried 100,000 riders a day before COVID. But as all of us know, from the beginning, the design had shortcomings. At the Times Square end, the line curved sharply, swinging northeast under 7th Avenue before shifting under Broadway. That meant that the platforms under Times Square, which are located on this curve, had large gaps that made it difficult for passengers to cross getting on and off the trains. This was a real nightmare, especially for our customers who use wheelchairs and other mobility impaired riders. Not where we wanted to be. on a busy, busy element of our system. Now, after this was talked about for literally decades, it's finally been rebuilt. The new shuttle is easier to navigate. Look at it. The tracks have been straightened, and there's now a single and much wider platform. This allows us to run longer trains with more capacity during the peak hour and to speed boarding, because we all know that the shuttle is all about moving quickly. And it makes the shuttle, for the first time, fully compliant with ADA standards, and that is a milestone. Thank you. Kudos to the project team, led by the indefatigable Mo Solomon. Mo, way to go. They got this work done faster than anyone expected, and it was on schedule and on budget. Those are the words we love hearing. Aside from being more functional and more accessible, with the new 6th Avenue connector, which is at the east end of this platform, it's a beautiful new art installation in our system by the artist Nick Cave. The first and largest of 3 installations by Mr. Cave, this one is called Everyone, can now be seen by the public. I just went down and saw it again, and it's amazing. Sandra Bloodworth, who heads MTA Arts and Design, is a hero alongside the artists who conceived it and the mosaic team that fabricated. Amazing, amazing work. As far as we've come, we still need to recognize that we need to do even more to win customers back. And I want to talk for a moment about the accessibility, that not just the accessibility that this gets at the east end of the platform here, but this is part of a bigger mega project that goes all the way to Grand Central. If you haven't seen the Grand Central mezzanine and the way we've redone it during COVID, go take a look. It's bigger, there's more room, there are more entrances, there are direct entrances into the new office buildings, into the old office buildings. We're fixing all the elevators and escalators to make sure that, again, mobility, vertical mobility, and accessibility is improved. We're all about making the system better so that we win our customers back. But it's not just about accessibility and mobility physically, it's about making our system accessible and affordable financially as we come back. And I want to emphasize this. The second part of our message today is that we want more equity. And to that end, we are working with the City of New York to double participation in the Fair Fares system, which gives low-income New Yorkers access to discounted Metro cards. There are only about a third of the low-income population in New York that is entitled to participate in Fair Fares is now enrolled. So we're going to be doing a major marketing campaign with our partners from city government to make sure everybody who's entitled to a discounted Metro card will be receiving one. And on the railroads, we're also creating financial incentives for people to come back. Message to Long Island Railroad and Metro North customers. Off-peak fares are going to remain in effect through the end of this year. That means that Long Island Railroad and Metro North customers who are using single ride trips and 10-trip tickets can benefit from savings that range between 28% and 38% depending on the distance they're traveling. Big discounts on the commuter rails for those coming back to the office. And if you're a monthly ticket holder, we're running an autumn weekend special. As part of that promotion, you can go anywhere on the railroad, even all the way out to Montauk or out up to Beacon, and bring 4 guests for just another $1 per person. Wow. There's also a Friends and Family Wednesday discount where monthly ticket holders can bring an extra person along with them to ride for just $1 on Long Island Railroad or Metro North. We want our customers back. We want to make it financially attractive for them. I'm talking about a lot of different subjects today, but the overall message is clear. We are moving full speed to support and power this region's economic revival. Obviously, the Delta variant has suppressed the trajectory of the return to work process, but let there be no mistake, we are ready. There can be no recovery without a strong MTA, and we are going to do everything and whatever it takes to keep New York moving. Welcome back, New York. Welcome back. Now I'm going to turn it over to my partner, the interim president of New York City Transit, Craig Cipriano. Craig.
Thank you, Jano. I'm excited to be here to celebrate the new shuttle and welcome back customers. This is truly a great day for New York City Transit and for New York City. I've been with this agency for over 30 years since I started with subways. And rebuilding the shuttle has been a topic of a discussion for that entire time. It's amazing to finally see the renovation New Yorkers deserve, especially at this critical moment when we are welcoming them back. I hope to see daily use of the shuttle tick back up to 80,000 customers it served daily before the pandemic. Ridership is already coming back slowly, but surely, and that's for sure. We're back to regularly serving 2 million customers a day on the subways and more than 1 million customers on the buses. We expect these numbers to continue to grow as the city recovers, continues to pick up speed in the weeks ahead. As always, safety remains our #1 priority. Thanks to our strong partnership with NYPD, crime is down, and we're working hard to keep it just that way. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you out in the system. Because if you're taking the subway, if you're taking the 42nd Street shuttle, that means you're out of our bus lanes. Right, Sarah?
Right.
Let me hand it over to Sarah Meyer right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. It's not very often we get to unveil an entirely new subway line, so I hope we can all recognize the importance of this moment and thank Jano, C&D, and New York City Transit who helped move this project forward. We all remember the frenetic and confusing "where's track 4" moments we all had, and this is just so much better and calmer, so thank you, thank you. Today, we're also really thrilled to launch a new marketing campaign, one that welcomes New York back to the city, to the offices, to restaurants, and to nightlife. The campaign reminds our customers that we never stopped running thanks to our heroic workforce, and shows those that might have stopped riding with us what they've been missing: a faster, cleaner, quieter, better public transit system, one that is more accessible to all. The campaign reminds us that public transit is good for the planet, good for our region, good for our wallets, and good for those who ride it. And also, just let's be honest, as a working mom of 2 young girls, sometimes you really want to escape working from home and take the train or the bus. Our campaign kicks off with a video we call Opening Doors, a tribute to New York and those who make it move.
Welcome back, New York.
our amazing team, Pat, Joe, Patrick, Jesse, Steve, Mark, Hayden, Barbara, Jean, Brian, for putting this campaign together and for their stellar work. This week, for the first time in many years, you'll see 25 outdoor billboards going up on highways across the region, streets across the tri-state area, reminding everyone of the benefits of public transit and to remind people to get out of their cars and into our buses. New York is now the #1 most congested city in the United States. We've beat LA, Boston, Philadelphia, and this is not a good thing, for once. Riders' comfort has never been more important. We're continuing to clean cars and stations 24/7. We're keeping a close eye on car equipment and maintenance, which has helped us significantly decrease the number of reported hot cars this summer. We saw a 33% drop in AC failures since 2009. This is great news. We're going to be seeing ads that you'll see on my right on the sides of 700 buses and in 10 different community newspapers. There'll be digital spots online, and of course, all over our social media channels. So I'll take this moment to also remind everybody our mask mandate remains in place. Our compliance rate's still looking good, but also need your partnership to make sure that all New Yorkers are wearing their masks on public transit. So welcome back, New York. And with that, I'll turn it over to Q.
Thank you, Sarah. Everyone here has already said it, but this is a great day for the transit system. Completing the shuttle project is a huge enhancement for all riders and a critical step forward towards system-wide accessibility. I can tell you from personal experience, navigating the shuttle transfer before this modernization was no easy feat. The wide gaps between the trains and the platform made it impossible to get on or off the train here at Times Square. The improvements we're celebrating today are transformative, and there's still more to come. We're taking a phased approach to improving accessibility across the 42nd Street corridor, starting today with the opening of our 138th accessible station and 99th key station. The new shuttle is phase 1 of the accessibility improvements under 42nd Street. Phase 2 will be marked by the opening of a new redundant elevator, providing an important pathway at the busiest stations in our system. But the work will only be completed when we make Bryant Park Station fully accessible later, which is a project included in this capital plan. And that project will conclude making the 6th Avenue passageway, opening today, fully accessible. New York State needs truly inclusive public transit to power its recovery and carry millions back to work, to school, to cultural centers and entertainment. New Yorkers and visitors with disabilities, and so many others that need and benefit from these accessibility features, like parents with strollers, seniors with mobility difficulties, must be included in that revival. Executing our vision is not easy, but it is a more than worthy mission, and I am committed to leading the MTA's efforts and working closely with advocates and the community to improve our systems. Thank you all for being here. I'll turn it back to Jano.
So I'm going to take questions in a moment, but let me say this is that we're on the precipice of the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and I spent 14 years on the World Trade Center rebuilding. It was a privilege. You know what we did downtown after 9/11 together was we determined collectively, after a lot of debate, we said we're going to make a better version of New York than existed before this terrible, terrible crisis. That's what we're trying to do at the MTA with COVID, to say people give up on cities. They're always quick to say, the city thing is over. No one's going to come there anymore. Just like they said Lower Manhattan was over after 9/11. What we say is No, we're going to create a better version than existed before the crisis. And that's what we've done during COVID, by investing in improving the system to give a better system for our customers, because we know they're coming back. We know they want to be back. We know they love the city. We know what makes New York the center of everything is not over, it's just beginning. And the shuttle is representative at the heart of the connection between the two largest stations, is representative of that passion and that commitment to take this crisis and turn it into something that helps make New York better. So thank you for being here. And with that, I know we have a couple of folks from the press. We're going to take on-topic questions, and then if they're off-topic, we'll take those as well. On-topic questions. Okay. Off-topic questions. Yeah. All right, I'm going to take off-topic questions so everybody's excused. Craig and Demetrius, come close. Okay. Yes.
Hi, Jano. Can you speak in general, please, to the efforts to get more workers to get the vaccine?
Yeah, and what we're doing is, look, we have made a lot of progress. For a long time, we operated an incredible network of MTA sites that made vaccinations available to MTA workers, because as essential workers, they were entitled to get vaccinated early, and we did a lot with that. We also gave them some preferential access to some of the statewide facilities as well. So we made a lot of headway with that. We've been giving people time off to get vaccinated for if they want to do it in local communities or otherwise. Now what we're doing is redoubling the effort, because consistent with what's going on at the national level, at the state level, we are moving into a vaccinate or test standard, right? Where everybody is being asked to get vaccinated or to get tested at least weekly. So what we've done is we've actually, to make that even easier, on top of how easy vaccination has been, we are deploying testing to the work sites, 120 work sites in the MTA system, and that began this week, where we've got 128 work sites where, whether it's the nasal swab or a spit test, people can actually quickly and right at their place of work get tested if they're not vaccinated for some reason. We're also working with our unions to get the word out, because a lot of them have been very supportive of vaccination, and through a variety of other mechanisms, we are incentivizing people to get vaccinated. So we made a lot of progress. It's just like the rest of society. There are people who have questions and for whatever reason have elected not to get vaccinated. And we're doing telemarketing. We're making it easy for them to upload their vaccination card. We're doing everything possible. And what we want to do is, the purpose of this is not to get into personal choice or anything, but this is a public facility. We need our customers to be comfortable. We need the workforce to be comfortable. We need their families to be comfortable, because we do operate collectively. And we're trying to work in lockstep with, obviously, the federal government and the state government as well.
Mr. Lieber, as you are aware by now, Governor Hochul has announced the results of the investigations,
Yes.
the August 29th meltdown. Can you please explain to us and elaborate for us on how that happened? And then also explain to the customers and to the workers how you're going to make sure that doesn't happen again.
So here's the bottom line. Initially, we thought that the electrical systems, the backup systems didn't work. When we did the investigation, what we found out is it was problems with our own management of the emergency that caused the interruption. So there are a couple things that happened. One, we didn't have visibility Well, what happened, the backup systems worked. The rail facilities continued to operate. That's good news. But there were a couple of building systems that were not getting emergency power that went down. And so people got confused about what was going on, and they made some changes to the electrical system, which caused, ironically, even though the system had gone fine when Con Ed power dipped, their efforts to try to fix a problem that wasn't affecting the subway system caused the subway system to be affected. It's not rational. So the result, the answer is we have to go back and look at what went wrong in the protocols for how that emergency is managed and how the people who are managing those systems are trained. Because in fairness to them, and most important to the public, we can't have people who are confused or not perfectly trained for the emergency doing things that are actually mistakes that make the emergency worse. I have to say, I am deeply disappointed in this, and I say to our customers, this cannot happen. Something of this kind cannot happen. The Rail Control Center is the holy of holies of the subway system, and the fact that we have exceptional security to get into it, but we didn't protect the security of the systems effectively in an emergency is something that we have to fix, and we're doing it immediately. I thank Governor Hochul, who really dug into the issue with us and helped us to take an investigation and take some actions which are going to turn this around. But to our customers, we make the pledge, we're going to fix this, and we're going to do it fast.
Can you just tell us the initial problem, the initial breakdown? And Governor Hochul said it was essentially a case of human error.
Yeah.
So explain to us exactly how it began.
Well, what happened, the simple answer is that there was a Con Ed dip in power, which the rail control systems that had backups worked fine, but there were systems in the rail control center, not rail-sensitive systems, not subway-sensitive operational systems, which did get affected by that Con Ed dip in power and went out of service. That caused some of the staff at the Rail Control Center to take actions that they thought they were intended to address what they thought was an emergency, but they actually took the wrong action. It appears that a button was pushed accidentally that was not supposed to be pushed. One, that can't happen, that somebody does something wrong because of lack of training or proper protocols. Two, there have to be interventions that prevent people from hitting the wrong button, honestly. And three, we need to look at how we manage emergencies more broadly to make sure that this kind of thing cannot happen again. All of those actions are underway right now. But it's obviously disappointing that our own systems were inadequate in this case to deal with emergency and actually made it worse.
Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you.